Now I stay in root pitch if this take get caught. Niggas bragging on the honey, niggas know we been rich. Niggas still come from nothing, we been came from it. Bullets sent y'all way, niggas been ran from it. Would've kept on dumping, that bitch jammed on me. Every time you see me out, bitch, I got yams on me. Always been a solid nigga, I ain't never been phony. How you a made man, but your killer stay hungry. Last op seen me, heard he got put in the dirt. How way he was talking, I ain't surprised he got murdered.
Dash gang shit, man. Big 2-4. Free H, free bang, nigga. Every night in the D, that nigga dropping in his yard, man. Caught him out and put a couple in his ball. Smoking no ops, mad as hell cause they all red. Y'all can't call your friends cause they all dead. We don't be stepping, that's the word from the ops. One gave him 7, hit the birds when he dropped. All I tellin' business, y'all niggas learn from the cops. Niggas be dying in can, we in the birds with the clock. He be thinking with his dick, I'ma sit back and put the hose. If I ever seen a op without a mag, I bet I stole. I don't give a fuck if we in the Nash, I got pole on me. Fam with cash.
Hope all is well, considering we got the bullshit. We got the bullshit already. Yeah, I hope everything's good though. Hey, top of the... That's legitimate, you guys. Top of the morning, what? I don't know if you guys can see that. It's legitimate. Oh, shit. I had to do a little, what is it called? I had to quarantine. I had to quarantine away from these motherfuckers for a minute. DJs. I'm sorry, you guys. This is legitimate. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, it's legitimate. Stay strong. Hey, top of the morning, DJ Star. Stay strong, brother. We are not theirs to target. They keep throwing fucking frequencies at my dogs, man. You're right, bro. I think it's that motherfucker in that van ahead. Have you ever heard of FISA Court 702 ruling is reason for gang stalkers? No, hey, brief me up on that, Walter. I heard of something like that. I heard they're here for, excuse me, that's legitimate. It has something to do with that domestic, for that 9/11 shit, right? I heard they can actually lock us up. I heard they can lock us up and just keep us there to rot. Like, they don't have to give us, like, they don't have to, like, you know, normal courts and shit. You gotta, you know, you got so long before you can, not see the person that's, going up before the judge and shit. But, like, I hear now, like, they can fucking, with this fucking program and shit, or a program, you know, it's all tied in, that they can lock us up without, you know, telling us what we're locked up for, or, you know, giving us a specific date when we'll go to court. Like, we could be there 5 and 6 fucking years before we even go to court and shit. Fucking Obama, man. I I remember when Obama signed that bill, and he deputized he deputized fucking the community and shit. I think it wasn't for gang stalking, so to speak, but well, probably it was because it's all tied in. They were just able to bring it out with a fucking bullshit name. But yeah, man, I remember when Obama signed that shit in, and I was talking shit. I was like, what the fuck are they good? Like, you're deputizing PG and E and fucking all these fucking, community fucking members and shit. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? I remember I used to say that, and my partner, his dad was in the military, and he was telling me, man. He was telling me, man, you just don't know. And then he broke down all that fucking. He broke it down to me. I still didn't believe it, cause I was like, how in the fuck can they? That's pretty much against Constitution to lock a motherfucker up and pretty much throw away the key until you get ready to fucking proceed with his fucking hearing or whatever. Like, that shit had never happened. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I was wrong as fuck. Let me see. Y'all need to look up Pfizer court ruling 702. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Hey, top of the morning. Okay, Cole. Beyond chemtrail. Y'all, okay. Donald Trump executive order against human trafficking, as mentioned by targeted individual Michael Harden, is interview with CIA done. Whoa. Say that again. Let me see. Donald Trump executive order against human trafficking, as mentioned by targeted individual Michael Barton, in his interview with CIA whistleblower John D'Souza. Oh, I gotta check that out. Worldwide war crimes against humanity and our planet. Oh man, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. It's bad, man. Can't call a perp. Obama's real name is Astoria. He was a plant. Oh yeah, I definitely believe Obama was a plant. They had us so blinded. See, people don't realize it's like they're all the fucking same. Like, they might. Excuse me, that's legitimate. In the beginning, they might have our best means in mind, but once you get baptized and fucking initiated and sworn into that fucking seat, you're pretty much just a yes man. You're fucking shit. Like, even Trump was a Trump. That's why I respect Trump, man, because he was like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, he didn't wait for fucking UN or none of that shit. Like, I mean, of course they chastised him and they put him in his place, but in the beginning and shit, Trump was running reckless as fuck, and he just didn't give a fuck. And I think that's the way our fucking, other than killing countries and shit, and certain things, man, we can't have like, I'm not saying be the little Japanese guy or the whatever his name is, the little mean dude. I think he's Korean. The one that he's. But even still, like, even their attitude towards everything, like, You know, knowing that the government is corrupt and shit, and all that, the way they fucking handled their presidencies and shit. Like, I don't, like, I'm not saying the one that the Asian dude, like, killing his brother and all that fucking shit. Like, I'm not saying that's the way to go, but I'm saying as far as having an attitude about, if you're gonna make the world a better place, man, make the world a better place. Fuck what anybody says about it. Like, you're always gonna have somebody that had fucking, Trump had a bunch of motherfuckers. Trump had a bunch of motherfuckers hating him, but the same motherfuckers that hated Trump, they loved Trump before he fucking became president. Like, they were fucking putting him in rap, like, mentioning him in rap videos. Like, fucking, Trump was like, I don't know how to put it. Trump was like a symbol, a verbal symbol of success. Like, if you had succeeded in the rap game or, any part of sports, you always fucking mention Trump's name and shit until he became president. I don't know what I said all that to say, but yeah, man, I think that's the way our president should be, man. It's just fuck, man. If you're gonna make the fucking world a better place, make them spare the fucking moment decisions, like fucking, stopping the fucking people from taking all those fucking kids and drinking their blood and doing God knows what else to them and shit. Like, that's the type of fucking president we need. Like, all that grab them by the pussy and all that fucking shit they were saying, like, fuck all that. Like, all the presidents have fucking said something worse than that. It just hasn't been it hasn't been publicized and shit. Like, people fucking grasp for the small shit. Like, they don't look at that one move that Trump did as far as fucking freeing all those kids and shit. That's topped anything all of our fucking presidents put together pretty much have done. Like, literally. In my lifetime. I don't know about the lifetime before mine, but, just freeing and saving all those fucking kids. Any other, like, those kids would still, like, they're back in the same position now. Like, maybe not the same kids, but, the train is back in motion ever since fucking Biden became president. Like, that's a no-brainer. But, it's just fucking, even fucking all these fucking people as fucking retarded. Excuse me, that's legitimate. As fucking fucked up in the head. Like, Biden was damn near just as fucked up as Hillary Clinton when he was running and shit. Forgetting shit. Fucking just laughing in the middle of fucking debate. Bringing that same shit. Like, he'd say shit that it didn't even make fucking sense during the fucking campaign, like during the fucking race, and people still voted that motherfucker in just because what everybody else was saying about Trump. Like, they did not fucking stop. They did not stop to fucking think, like, damn, well, let's see, he saved all these children. Like, even that just alone, man, that's worth way more than any president has fucking done. The closest thing Obama's done to that is fucking give people Obamacare. And that wasn't even a good thing, man. That was a fucking bullshit smoking mirror. The fucking Obamacare. The fuck? People... People stuck on that shit. People literally, people say they're fucking Obamacare is too expensive and shit. Oh man, the smoke and mirrors, man. They push it out there and make it seem good. When really it's just a ploy to fucking snatch anything fucking resourceful out you. Yeah, Biden don't even look like a. Biden's starting to remind me of like the little the little Catholic guy. Like he like I'm well, not so much the little Catholic dude. He looks like a demon, but fucking Biden just looks like he's had way too many fucking plastic surgery. He's had too many sessions with the plastic surgeon and shit. Like he, like he can't even turn. His neck is so fucking tight. It's like he has to turn his whole fucking body with his head and shit. It's crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know who the fuck we got, overseeing our country, man. Barry, let me see. Barry Satori is who he was meeting with. We need bumper stickers. Truth matters. Hey, fuck. Hey, we do need bumper stickers, but fuck that shit, bro. I put that shit all over my van. I write signs. Like, see, that's the thing, bro. We're in a matrix right now. Literally. And I'm not talking about no computer fucking shit, even though it might be. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just, existing right now. I don't know nothing about nothing. But, we are, like, literally in a matrix created by these fucking people. And the only way to get, like, when we want to be heard, we gotta raise our voice. Like, we gotta raise our voice or signs. We gotta let these people hear. And videos too. Like, you gotta catch all their senses. You gotta let them fucking hear, fucking see, and fucking read that shit. Like, if they can read it, because, we know everybody's not a part of this shit. Like, hands down. Like, we know everybody's not a part of this, but to try and decipher who is and who isn't, like, that's a fucking, that's a journey I'm not gonna take. Like, like, I'm not gonna consider you a perp until you give me some type of fucking reason. And 9 times out of 10, I'll let you do what you're doing for a good 5 or 10 minutes. Until I realize, like, oh, okay, like, he's really trying to drill it in, or she's really trying to drill it in, and then I'll just fucking, hey, it's crazy, because, and I know it's all perps and shit on them dating lines and shit. Like, I know it's all perps on them dating lines and shit, but, like, even, like, if I'm talking to somebody from a dating line, it's only happened, like, twice that I fucking met somebody and was interactive, and then I'll ask them, like, I'll ask them, I'll wait for like a week, I'll tell them what I'm going through first, like, I let them know off top, I tell them what's happening with me and shit, and, let them make their choice, and fucking, I let a week go by, because I know after a fucking week of fucking talking to somebody new, that they've fucking infiltrated. Like, and then the people from the dating lines and shit, they'll leave messages. So, you might have left a message to somebody, and they fucking saw you leave a message, and then they get at that person, and then have that person get at you and start playing the game. Like, that person's probably hip. That person's probably hip way before. So most of, I let the people make the comments for, like, get at me and all that shit first, because but anyways, man, I'll wait like a week and shit, and I'll ask them, like, has anybody Has anybody gotten at you? And you can tell right off top from their response to you that, you know, they're full of shit. Like, you can tell. And they'll be like, what do you mean? So, like, after you fucking explained it to them, and they fucking ask you and ask you and ask you questions and questions and questions over and over and over about it. Like, okay, so, you know, I'm not letting her know that I'm realizing, like, you're really asking me these questions. So, and it's not just like a one-time thing. Like, you're constantly asking me these questions. So when I ask you if these people have gotten at you, there's no reason that you should be like thinking about it, or, you know, saying no and then asking questions about it right after. I fucking, like, there's no way. Like, right off top, I'm already knowing. Like, you can't play me like you can't, like, I'm not, you know, you know, everybody wants affection or whatever, but I'm not that thirsty for affection. Like, I would never fucking let somebody fucking yo-yo me through a relationship, or fucking play games with me like that. Like, it's bad enough dealing with that shit. It's bad enough dealing with that shit with these motherfuckers. To have somebody close to you doing that shit, nah, you better find a different target. You got the wrong one over here. But that's usually, like, if you ever, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a good thing to go on them dating lines and shit, because you might, you know, you might really fucking find somebody. But I go on there, when I go on, like, when I've gone on there, like, I go on there intentionally. Like, I already know, like, my mind is already made up that, you know, 9 times out of 10, whoever gets at me is gonna be a perp. But, you know, I'm not gonna fucking disregard every single thing about that person until they fucking show me. And then, you know, all it takes is one time. One time for me. Like, you're not gonna get no second chance. Not that type of shit. Definitely gotta guard your feelings, man. Guard your fucking emotions and all that shit. When it comes to love, you know, a love other than God's love. I'm talking about, like, you know, when you putting your heart into somebody and shit, you gotta really guard that, man. 'Cause, you know, some people, you know, go all out. Like, you go all out in relationships, and for somebody to be fucking playing ping pong with you like that, fuck that shit. Excuse me, guys. That's legitimate. I gotta get a different. I can't keep putting the blunt to the phone and shit, because I got it kind of rigged up. So, but I'll let you know it's legitimate. Let me see. Hey, what's going on, Tony? Top of the morning. Hey, that thing, your stream is. Let me see. Oh shit! Did I miss it? Oh man, my bad. I know it was the 22nd. I'm so behind on days and shit. My bad, Tony. Michael Bard. Oh, Michael Barton spelled. Okay, yeah. I get that all the time. check out documentary 1,000 Pieces. 1,000 Pieces. I definitely check that out. Why doesn't Black Lives Man, if you you gotta think about it, right? I mean, we're targeted individuals, right? So not all of us are black, but you know, you gotta think. All the shit, all the black on black crime and all the other fucking crimes that ain't black on black, like other against black crimes, like, you know, whenever, you know, because there's a funding for when people get murdered and shit. The police, by, you know, people who are wrongly murdered by the police or done wrong, like there's a fund for that, like, you know. So whenever something like that they're only gonna pop up whenever anything relates to that fund box. Like whenever they can fucking be funded and all that shit, that's when Black Lives Matter comes out. They don't give a fuck about you, me, or anybody else, except all they care about is fucking their pockets. And if you don't, you know, if it's hard to believe, man, you gotta look at what the lady did. The head lady, like, she bought houses all over the fuck, and not no fucking bullshit fucking houses. Like, these are fucking houses overlooking fucking oceans and shit like that. You know, the other girl, forget her name, like, and I, you know, in the beginning, like, I was like, she reminded me of like a female Malcolm X and shit. Like, I was respecting her and shit until, you know, all that fucking other shit. You know, fucking Cadillac and all this fucking shit, and then, you know, people's family members saying that, you know, you guys are getting all this money, you're able to buy houses and shit, like, you guys haven't even paid us enough to where, like, we could at least be compensated for paying for the funeral and shit, like, you know, and shit like that, man. That's just fucking scandalous, man. You know, if anything, those families were supposed to get way more money than you. You're supposed to be like a lawyer type of thing. You feel me? That's how I would look at it. Like, fuck, you guys are doing this for them, but you're using their fucking names and their dead family members and shit, and then you guys are just collecting all the money and not giving them shit. Like, if anything, they're supposed to get most of the money and you guys get a percentage of that shit. Like, but yeah, Black Lives Matter, man, that's a fucking gimmick, man. It's a gimmick, man. It's an agenda. It's an agenda-based situation. So, you know, it's like Obama. It's like fucking Obama. It's you know, as long as we fucking see that there's people out there fighting for us, because before Black Lives Matter, you know, ever since the Black Panthers and shit, you know, we really haven't had nobody out there, like, pretty much anybody from a different country and shit, like, if they get done wrong here, all they gotta do is make a complaint to I don't know how it goes, but they have like a country base. It's like how we got American embassy in places and shit. Like, they got factors of that shit, and like, if they're done dirty here, like, all they gotta do is complain to them, and then they'll fight for them. Like, they don't even gotta fight. Like, they're fucking people. They're you know, the top deck people are gonna fight for them. Like, for us, like, we never had that shit. Like, we don't even know where the fuck. To be honest, like, we can fucking say we're any type of person with dark skin. We can say that, but literally, like, we don't know that shit. Like, literally, we were fucking kidnapped, and you know, you gotta think, like, you know, the fucking rabbit hole is deep. Like, sellouts, all that shit. Like, sellouts has been going on since the beginning of time. Sellouts fucking sold us to the fucking slave master. Like, we weren't fucking kidnapped. Like, the slave master didn't just fucking come and fucking snatch us off the plantation and shit. Like, we were fucking captured by our own fucking people and fucking given to the slave master. So, or the people that they say are ours. And like, you know, that's, to me, you know, it would have to be like, cause I don't know, and it could have been from, you know, the different mixing and all that, but you know, for me, like whenever I see Africans and shit, and I know my language is fucking American, but like my skin complexion and all that shit, if I'm African, and I know there's been mixing and shit, but if I'm African, like I should have some type of fucking African features, but I don't even feel like, I don't feel like I have African features. Like I'm far from ashamed of being black. Like I love whatever race I am. I love that shit to the fullest. So it's not about being ashamed or none of that shit. But you know, I look at Africans and I see there's different nationalities of Africans and shit, and I've sat there and I've tried to fucking say like, and this is just off my head shit, like not fucking ancestry fucking digging into fucking, you know, government ancestry fucking bullshit, but just fucking using common sense and trying to fucking see if I got features or, you know, I don't see it. Like I don't, I don't see it. Like I might be African, but I think I'm a different, you know, a different form of African. I could be fucking, you know, I could be a bunch of shit. Like I could be an Israelite, I could be Haitian, and that goes for all of us. Like we really don't know what the fuck we are because we were given that shit. Like we don't even know our last name. We don't know nothing about our fucking roots. Like everything that has, like we and I hate to say it, but the black American is the most programmed person in the fucking world. Like, cause they completely wiped us. They wiped our fucking brain. Like they wiped us clean. Like they fucking, like when you take a phone and you want to sell your phone, how you fucking do a factory data reset. Like they yeah, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. Like they completely did a factory data reset on us and shit. So, like we don't know nothing except what they've told us, and you know our research, which, you know, if it didn't come from, you know, our ancestors or our elders and shit, and it's just a bunch of regurgitated bullshit that black people are telling you, but the black people went to school and learned it from from the same people who taught us. You know, everything's just all fucked up when it comes to us and shit. Like, so I don't know what the, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter. So, you know, Black Lives Matter is just bullshit, man. I don't even know what I don't know how I veered off into that whole fucking thing like that, but yeah, Black Lives Matter is bullshit. And you know, the fucking government already told you, like they told us all on TV, like before they let another fucking black messiah rise, they're gonna shut his motherfucking or her motherfucking ass down immediately. So anybody really getting on the fucking TV with like the illusion of power is, you know, they're being directed. Like if you're not willing to fucking, okay, you can be fucking protesting and shit, but you gotta do it the way we tell you to. If you don't protest the way we tell you to, then you know, they know what's up. Like they know if the government, they know if they weren't funded by George, whatever that dude's name is, Sardini, Sardini. I know it's like an Italian last name. But whatever, if they weren't funded by that dude, they wouldn't be doing that shit. even the new Black Panthers and shit, man. If you really think, if anybody thinks that real Black Panther shit is like some real shit, man, like those are all fucking government plants. Like all they're they're to put they're to they're there to put to give us the illusion that things are getting better, or that now we have some type of fucking savior and shit. Meanwhile, we're still getting shot down and fucking hung and all this shit. Like, right after the Black Lives Matter march, like, mysteriously, mysteriously, 2 black guys commit suicide and they decide to fucking hang themselves from trees and shit. Like, this is how they commit suicide, is they hang themselves from trees and shit. So, you know, that just tells you, like, and Black Lives Matter didn't say shit about that. I didn't hear one peep. I didn't hear not one peep from Black Lives Matter when that shit happened. A little boy got shot in Chicago. It was a little boy got shot in Chicago. Black Lives Matter didn't say shit about that. You know, so it's sad, man. For me, it's sad, man. It's sad. And it's sad to say this, and I don't want to sound negative and shit, but like when I look at us and shit, like we, as much as I love my people and shit, like, you know, we got a long way to go. Like, we got a long way before we even stop killing each other. Like, we got a long way to go. Like, we're gonna be killing each other probably for the next 3-4 fucking generations and shit. And as long as this internet's here, internet and hip hop, you know, if you're not responsible enough to know how to listen to that shit and fucking treat that shit like a fucking Hollywood, excuse me, that's legitimate. Treat that shit like a Hollywood movie and shit, and know that, you know, you can't sell drugs and fucking the reality, you're not gonna, you know, in these days, you're not even gonna make, you know, unless you're fucking selling like ounces and shit, you're not gonna even make enough to be able to flip a car before you go to jail. Like, if you're out here selling rock for rock and all that bullshit and fucking getting double ups and shit, you might not get a car for the next 6-7 months unless you just got a rolling ass spot. You might not be able to get a car for like 4 or 5 months, 6 months and shit. And the way fucking, you know, technology is now, like, it's bad. You ain't gonna get nowhere. So, and fucking, you can't fucking just listen to somebody say they killed every fucking song, and motherfucker done killed like 10 people in each song and shit, and you got like 4 or 5. You know, motherfucker got 4 or 5 albums out, and fucking he's killed all these fucking people. Like, if you really think you're gonna get away with that shit, and you know, everything is fucking even from the guns, like, literally, like, cause I pay attention to shit, like, especially when it comes to music. I pay attention because I like, you know, most of the music, I like different music. Like, it might still be like thuggish and gangbangerish and shit, but like, you know, if it's like mainstream type of fucking, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking anybody in mainstream, but when it's that fucking everybody sounding the same and shit, like, that throws me off. So like, I mainly I mainly listen to underground shit before they fucking been brainwashed into fucking, you know, agenda shit. And, you know, motherfuckers killing like 80 fucking people a fucking song and shit. Like, you gotta be able to realize that you're not gonna get away with that. And You know, one person says they got a Draco, now fucking everybody's rapping about fucking Dracos. You can't fucking find, you find somebody rapping about some, what was it? At first it was 7.62s. You know, everybody said 7.62s. 40 with a 30. Everybody saying 40 with a 30. Like, so I just be looking for different people, man, and saying all that to say, like, the hip hop industry is definitely an influence on us for sure, because there's nobody else in the music industry killing each other up the way we kill each other up. Nobody. I don't think nobody in that. You know, if anything you hear about the rock and roll or fucking country or some shit, you don't even hear about them getting murdered. It'd be like OD and, you know, having a heart attack or some fucking shit in a motel room. You know, you don't ever hear about them fucking killing each other and shit. And as demonic as that, I'm not gonna say all rock and roll music. I don't want to be disrespecting nobody out here, but you know, they got that shit called death metal and that fucking, all that fucking weird frequency shit, what they do with the guitars and shit, that fucking, you know, that, you know, and the words they say and all that shit. Like, I remember back in the day, they used to have this shit, like, you get a rock, like, you get a rock and roll album, and you play that shit backwards. You spin it backwards, and it would say some shit, like, it would have some type of fucking, some devil messages on it and shit. And now, you know, hip-hop is just all fucked up, man. They got a bunch of fucking guys, and not everybody in hip-hop, so I'm not directing this at hip-hop, everybody in hip-hop, but, you know, basically what you have is a bunch of purse-wearing, skirt-wearing killers. A bunch of fucking guys in mini skirts fucking killing shit up. Pulling up on you fucking in mini skirts and trying to make it look stylish, like a fucking a shirt, like a, you know, they still be wearing pants. They still be wearing pants under that shit. But you know, and that makes it look all the more like that, you know. If you're gonna do that type of shit, man, you might as well just say, fuck it, man. If I'm gonna make this money, you know, if they're gonna make me fucking do all this shit, wear skirts and fucking, you know, you might as well just really be fucking gay and shit. Like, you might as well just really be fucking gay and don't even try and hide that shit. And then eventually, it's sad to say, it's sad to fucking say, but maybe we'll stop killing each other once they fucking turn us off. Well, not us all, but once they turn most of the fucking, when they turn most of us gay and shit, we'll probably stop killing each other and shit. You know, you won't be hearing about drive-bys and fucking people dying and innocent people dying. Just a whole bunch of motherfuckers cat fighting in the street over purses and shit like over shit like that. Maybe that's the only thing that'll get us to stop killing each other. Oh man. Yeah, man, we got a long way to go. that's the crazy thing, man. Like you would think out of all things. I'm scrolling through y'all comments there. I'm kind of I'm kind of venting this shit. So, but I'm not. I'm getting to y'all comments. You would think though that knowing that we got it from all sides and shit, we got it from the supremacists. A lot of different races don't like us. And it's not even because they hate us, like they've been programmed to be afraid of us and shit. And, most of the shit they see on the news about us is fucked up, bad shit and shit. Like, so, they don't like us for that reason and shit. Like, we can't even fucking go in the stores and shit without being fucking, like, it literally could be somebody else of a different nationality fucking loading their fucking pockets up and everything. And you just fucking going down the aisle to get a soda pop and shit. Like, they gonna get on you. They gonna lose over fucking $15-$20 worth of shit just to watch you fucking make sure you don't steal their soda pop and shit. So you would think, having it from all those angles and shit, from just everywhere, police, fucking government, different races and shit. Like, you would think out of all people we would get along with each other, but and all that shit stem, I'm sorry you guys, all that shit stem from a Black Lives Matter question. My bad. Roll this blunt real quick. But yeah, man, I hope I'm still getting to y'all comments. I'm just rolling this blunt. I hope everybody's doing good, man, considering the bullshit. Hey, I heard, does anybody know if this is true? I don't do it anymore, but they used to ask me for cigarettes and shit. And like, in the beginning I used to give them cigarettes and shit because they pose as like they weren't perps and shit. Like, if it's a perp off top, I'm not gonna give them shit, but like, it be people legitimate. I don't want to be no asshole and shit, and be like, no and shit. Like, that cigarette could be fucking, I know how it is out there, so that cigarette can fucking, just that one fucking cigarette could change your whole fucking day. But I don't do it no more, cause they say they put curses and shit on it. And I started paying attention to that shit, and it was crazy, cause it seemed like every time I would give somebody a fucking cigarette, when they said they curse them, when they said they curse cigarettes and shit, like, at first, I thought that was bullshit, but then I started paying attention, and it seemed like every time I gave a person a cigarette, something fucked up would happen. Like, I would fucking, like, my battery would die. I fucking get sideswiped, a hit and run. Like, literally, like, all bad shit would happen. I would lose money. I quit doing that shit. And, like, it's crazy now, because they be offering me money and shit for shit. Like, they be literally offering me like $2. I'll give you $2 for a cigarette. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I don't got it. Let me see. Truth matter, definitely. Hey, what's going on, ma? Obamacare set up to traffic children. Is that right? I know child trafficking has been going on since the beginning of time, though. Well, in my lifespan. When I say the beginning of time, most of the time, you guys, I just mean in, the beginning of my time. Hey, what's going on, Awaken? I hope everything's good and they're not fucking with you too tough. I know they're always fucking with all of us, but it seems like they really fuck with, they give you like, and that's like really bad, fucked up. That's how much, see, that's the type of bullies we're dealing with, you guys. Those are and I'm not laughing because it's funny, I'm just, but that's the type of bullies that we deal with. Like, they don't care if you're, if you're handicapped, they don't care about none of that shit. They don't care if you're a kid, like, literally. And they've displayed that to us over and over with just the people that die. But, you start thinking about shit like this 14-year-old that just died, and you think, like, damn, how they can still do this shit, and fucking, like, they have no fucking, like, they literally have no conscience. Like, these people, and you can't tell me, it's either two things. I mean, it's either two things. Is that the government has fucking figured a way to fucking get these people to do shit to us, and they just think they're following us. Like, they would have, the only way that these people could be somewhat innocent is if they did not know each other and they had singular jobs. Your job is this: you just look on here and you drive with one headlight. You look on here, you drive with one tail light. You look on here where if he's over here, you do this fucking acting shit or whatever. Like, if they did not know, but even still, even then, like, the psychological effect of them seeing how they're getting us mad and upset and all that, like, and I've there's people literally, like, I've been out here in the same fucking small area. Like, this ain't no, I really only fuck with downtown. I don't go too much out of the downtown area unless I'm leaving town. So, a lot of these people are fucking, these neighborhood watch motherfuckers, like, I know a lot of them fucking, a lot of those Teslas is on me. Like, I know a lot of those Teslas and shit, like, that's, well, not just me, but, other targets around as well. But, and just the fucking, the trinkets that they keep getting, the gift card, like, they know how to, like, the Bible is real when it says don't be swayed by the fucking worldly things and shit. Because, like, people who never had anything, you fucking give them something, man. And you can, man, you'll see it in life. Like, it don't even take gang stalking. Like, I've seen people fucking literally fucking get like $1,000 from never having $1,000 ever in their life, and I swear that person will turn into a mob boss. That motherfucker would talk about fucking all types of fucking shit that you'd be like, damn, man, it takes you thinking to yourself, like, you're not saying nothing to him, like, you want him to stay, feel good in the moment and shit, but, like, it's like, damn, man, some of this shit you talking about gonna cost a lot more than $1,000, man. Like, that shit, what you talking about is gonna cost some money, man. Like, shit, half of what, I mean, just the beginning of what you're talking about is gonna cost fucking half of your fucking, like, you gotta slow down, bro. You gotta slow down. So, you know, for a person never having it and fucking always getting trinkets, like, and the trinkets go up, maybe, you know, you're out here on the streets and shit, they throw you in a little residency, you know, you get some roommates, and you know, you're living in a house, you're getting snacks now, you're eating on a daily basis, you're showering on a daily basis. That shit feels good. You know, now you got your fucking $100 gift cards, you got your fucking, you know, you're getting all these fucking trinkets and shit. These people ain't gonna stop. They don't give a fuck who they kill. Like, it's hands-free murder. Literally. Like, that's literally how they feel. Like, they're getting away with murder. Like, they're literally a part of something. Like, and this is something that, you know, it gives them a sense of power. From the homeless person all the way to the fucking neighborhood watch motherfucker. Like, they're literally like, you know, they're drenched with some fucking illusion of power and shit. And when somebody dies, and the police sweep it under the rug like that, you know, it's almost like it's a partnership. It's a partnership. You're not gonna tell on the police because the police aren't gonna tell on you. Because the police know if they tell on you, you're gonna tell on them, and you know, 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna win telling on the police. You know, you just ain't gonna win. Even when you do win, you don't win. Hunger Games society, exactly. I think I was talking to Jay Black about it. I think, like, we were talking, like, it almost does seem like Hunger Games and shit, because it's like some of these people, and like, you know they're perps, but they do, like, you know, they'll do fucking, you know, they'll do nice shit, like, you know, they'll do nice shit, and it kind of throws you off, like, and that's how Hunger Games was, man. Like, you know, you had people that were against you and shit. No, that's what we were talking about, not perps being not good people. No, excuse me, that's legitimate. No, we were talking about, like, I think he mentioned, like, it seems like it's 2 sets of people. Like, it's the perps, and then, like, it's a set of people that are good, and that are fucking, it's like a video game almost. I mean, we didn't go that deep into talking, but, like, it's almost like a video game. Like, you have good people for you. Excuse me, that was legitimate. You have people for you, and then you have people against you and shit. And then, like, the good people fucking leave you all types of fucking, like on Hunger Games and shit. Oh man, this shit is crazy, man. Hunger Games society, you hit that shit on the nail. Hit that shit on the nail. Hunger Games mixed with a little bit of Civil War. Oh man. That just happened to me. What's that? Oh, you talking about, you talking about the dating thing? Excuse me. Excuse me, that's legitimate. Yeah, man. You gotta be careful. I'm not gonna say stay away from him and shit, because even you know, even for me, it's a form of entertainment and shit. Like, I like to fucking, like, people be scamming, trying to scam and shit. You know, people be getting on there trying to scam and shit. Like, you don't know how many times I've heard the fucking same story. I've heard the same story, but in different words from like people from like the Philippines or even out here. Like, but it's really all, you know, a lot of fucking scammers. Like, whenever you get somebody to tell you some shit like, you know, let's talk on this site. Like, they're not giving you no WhatsApp, or no, they're sending you to a whole different site and shit. Like, whenever you're getting some that shit, you know, they're gonna try and scam you. They're gonna fucking tell you to get some type of fucking Google code and fucking give them your Google code, and then from when you give them your Google code, you know, that's how they get into your phone and shit. Like, they can get into your phone like that, get into your fucking pay, whatever type of fucking money you got, your Chime, your PayPal, your Cash App, all that shit, your fucking YouTube, all that shit. Like, they can clone your phone from you giving them that Google code. So for anybody who fucking tells you to fucking get a Google code and then give it to them so they can fucking, whether it's on some business shit or anything, don't do it. But yeah, like, I be on there and fucking, you know, it's more entertainment than anything. Like, I like to fucking leash them, drag them along, and, you know, they'll tell you they love you. Excuse me, that's bullshit. I mean, that's legitimate. You know, they'll tell you they fucking love you, like, a day into your fucking conversation. Like, you know, that's complete bullshit. If it, you know, and the story usually goes that fucking they're taking care of their mother or their grandmother who's really sick. They're looking for a relationship. They want somebody who's loyal, caring, and fucking, you know, basically they're telling you basically they want somebody who's fucking gonna keep their fucking pocketbooks heavy and shit, and like fucking, you know, they'll literally fucking get you to fucking send plane. This is to people who are green though. Like, most people, like, if you you know, most, I mean, well, I'm not gonna say most people because they get rich off of it, but, you know, a person of sound mind, you know, you're gonna put all that shit together. You're gonna know, but you know, motherfuckers be sending plane tickets, bus tickets, sending the money for it, you know. $500 plane ticket and shit. Like, you literally let somebody that you don't know, who fucking told you that they fucking love you, 10 minutes into your conversation, tell you, oh, you send me a plane ticket. And then you don't even, like, you don't even ask how much the plane ticket costs. They just tell you the plane ticket is gonna cost $800, and you just fucking send that shit. Yeah, but I ain't gonna say don't get on that shit. Don't get on the dating line and none of that shit. But be very, 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 just go on there knowing that, you know, the chances of you meeting somebody real and that person not flipping is very slight. Like, even on dating lines, is like music. Like, you have to go on those motherfuckers as a targeted individual. Like, you have to go on there with a fucking, you know, grain of salt type of mindset. It's like playing lottery, man, because, you know, there are good people out there know, a good person to me, and I would respect it. Like, I would highly fucking respect that. I would respect somebody if we've been talking for like a month or a couple weeks, and the perps get at him and say something about me, towards me, or whatever, and try and get them to play along and all that shit. Like, I would respect it more if that person just never ever fucking called me again, just fucking changed their number and all that shit, instead of playing me along with the fucking bullshit games and shit. Like, that would be highly fucking respectable in my eyes. Like, some people might look at that as fucked up and shit, but you know, that would be highly fucking respectable. Out here in Utah, the gang stalkers recently started parking their cars turned away from me, like they don't want me to see their faces. I screenshot their license plate. No, bro, they got something in their trunk. They're microwaving you. Excuse me, that's legitimate. They're microwaving you, bro. Whenever they fucking, like, even if, like, say you're parked and somebody fucking comes and backs up to you, like, they usually back up real fucking close and shit. That's because they're shooting microwaves in there. Like, I literally, like, it's fucked up to say I use my dogs as fucking, like, my dogs are, well, it's fucked up because they go through pain and shit, but by looking at my dogs and shit, I can literally tell when they're shooting frequencies in here now, and it's really fucked up, man. They back up really fucking close to your shit, or there'll be like somebody on the side. I don't know how they fucking maneuver the frequency or some shit, but all of that shit is different. Like, the microwaves and all that shit is fucking different. Like, they hit you with all types of shit. And for me, it's usually like Teslas and shit like that, but it's not limited to, because I remember, you know, when my when they did that shit and my van was in the shop, and I had that motel, you know, they parked a one headlight Bandit, fucking like a Honda or some shit, like an old Honda too, like the ones you could fucking just take with a screwdriver. I filmed it, and you know, they were shooting frequencies in the room and shit. But they, but they act like targets though. Yeah, the thing with that. Boy, I think I might be like. Oh, you talking about? Oh, that was God deserves his glory, but they act like targets though. Oh, you met somebody that was acting like a target? Gang stalkers always back into their parking spots so they can watch you, aka people watch. Yeah, and then you're pretty much, not only do we have technology as far as GPS, but you know, them themselves is like a network of GPSs and shit. Like, they work just like a GPS. When you fucking turn left or right, like, they get on their walkie-talkie, their phone or whatever, and they let the people know. Like, they're already strategically set in all, like, believe it or not. Well, I know you guys know this, but like, they're for the people who don't, like, they're strategically fucking set. Like, like right now, there's a perp on this street. There's a perp, like, that crossing street. There's a perp going one way, parked, and there's another perp parked, set to go to, you know, crossing and shit, just for which way I turned, and then they'll get on me. And they're conveniently parked around a bunch of cars to where, you just don't pay it no attention. But trust me, as soon as you take off, they're kindly pulling out, and that's why you like if you pay attention to your surroundings and shit. Pay attention to like when you go home, that exit entry shit. Like when you go home, and fucking every time you go home, there's always somebody fucking going home at parking at the same time you get there, or when you leave, and fucking like it's all fucking human GPS bullshit. And a lot of them can't fucking, a lot of them can't fucking read our fucking thoughts like that. Maybe there might be an offspring of some fucking lucky dude who has like an uncle or somebody like that in the military, a friend or some shit. Like, I'm not saying not all the neighborhood watch motherfuckers and shit got those fucking like, I know they all got microwave devices and shit. They can frequency you with an iPhone, but as far as being able to read our minds and shit like that, these regular motherfuckers and shit, like I've tested it, like some of them can. Like I think the ones that are chipped up, the ones with that brain shit in their head, them chips and shit, like, but only the people who can read the nanotechnology, the people that have those computers and all that shit, like, because I think that's like a big, that has to be like, we know they have supercomputers and shit, and it would take that, I think, to be able to read, because I don't think they can just, like that motherfucker walking with the umbrella, unless he's some type of FBI, CIA. If he's just a regular neighborhood watch, I don't think he can read my fucking mind, like, but they have those people who are fucking, and the people who do act like they read our minds, they're not reading our minds, they're just being V2K, like, on some voluntary shit. Like, there's a person reading that fucking computer telling them what you're thinking, and then that's how that shit plays out. But as far as these fucking weirdos, like, they'll teach them how to be criminals and shit like that, but I don't think they'll give them any type of knowledge that'll fucking, wow them. Unless they're really a part of the machine and they get chipped up and all that shit. But a lot of that shit be the fucking people, V2K-ing or fucking writing in their fucking phone what to say and shit. Like, if you're fucking thinking something and shit, they get that some type of fucking alert and what to say. But I've tested it, and like, especially with the recycling shit. Like, I noticed on my route and shit, they would fucking just act like, cause I was fucking, I was literally fucking, before they started fucking it up, I'd say it was probably a good 8 years I fucking, had a route down and shit. Like, they would always fuck with the route, but, once I started, once I got the vans and shit, when I was on the bike and shit, it was all funny to them and shit, like, because they thought, they didn't think I was gonna get anywhere. Like, so when I was on the bike and shit, excuse me, it's legitimate, and I was just carrying like two carts with bags and shit, which would probably be like 5 or 6 bags and shit. It wasn't really much. They thought it was all fun and games and shit. Like, they pull up on the side of me and offer me. They'd be like, "Hey, you want this?" And I'd be thinking they're gonna offer me money and shit, and they give me a soda can. They give me a soda can and say some shit like, "Everything counts, right?" And I'd be like, hell yeah. Like, I wouldn't let them fucking, like, I'd be fucking, and in the beginning and shit, you're really biting your fucking, you're really swallowing your fucking pride. Like, recycling to me before before this gang stalk and shit, like I would never fucking, I used to think people were only, I used to think like people would fucking do that shit all day and turn in big ass bags of fucking recycle for like $3 a bag and shit. So, and that, from being, that's just fucking my fucking stereotyping shit. And yeah, when in the beginning though, they thought that shit was funny, giving me shit like, fucking a 5 or 6 fucking pennies, or and shit like that, just weird shit. And in the beginning, you really fucking, you're biting your pride. You're already fucking, like in the beginning, like I was, people would drive by like females. That's before I got real comfortable with these fucking perps and shit. Like, in the beginning, you always think like there's possible, like that. Okay, maybe they're doing an investigation on me, and this should be over with. Like before you come content and comfortable with the fact that this shit is gonna be forever. Like it was different for me. Like I like when females and shit drove by. Like I'd be recycling and shit, and then they drive by it, and I fucking act like I wasn't. I act like I wasn't recycling, just on some, I don't know what the fuck it was, but you really. I'm saying all that to say I was really biting. I was really swallowing my fucking pride, and for them fucking people to do that shit, like it would really. That shit used to piss me off. Until I fucking, started using my brain and just said, fuck it. Like, I'm not finna, I don't care if they got $100. I'm not walking up to no fucking car. Fuck that. Like, motherfucker literally fucking make me stop recycling, call me over, like, to cross the street to the fucking car. I'm thinking this motherfucker gonna give me like maybe $1, couple dollars and shit. And that motherfucker offered me like 5 pennies. And, I'm grateful. Yeah, I know it came from God, but from them, I know they had evil intentions behind that shit. Yeah, these people ain't got no souls, man. They ain't got no hearts, man. They gonna be doing this shit for a long time. Until fucking we either put our foot down or, that possibility, maybe that maybe that, that president or that fucking community leader or mayor or one of those other motherfuckers who pretty much is on the same team as most of the motherfuckers in the pocket of this program and shit. Like until there happens to be one of those people who happens to be a good person, we can always fucking sit and wait on that shit. Or we can use the strength that God has fucking given us and use the protection that he'll have over us and fucking light the shit out these streets. Not, not light shit on fire, but, go do our thing as far as protesting. Like, it don't have to be violent, but it can be aggressive and shit. Like, we can fucking stop traffic. We can stop people from going to work. You don't touch us, we don't touch you. It's peaceful. You touch us, then it's a different story. And then all bets are off. Then, but, keep it peaceful but aggressive. Don't burn nobody's building down. Like, basically, all we have to do is fucking be fucking barriers and shit. We can be barriers for fucking people going to work, barriers for people fucking in traffic. And there's enough of us. There's more than enough of us. There's more than enough of us to get the job done. But until we all realize that, or our magical savior comes, then, this is going to be an ongoing process. But the good thing about that is that every generation becomes more and more aggressive. So, who knows? Maybe it's your son who becomes targeted. Maybe it's your daughter, your niece, your fucking nephew. Like, maybe even my daughter. Because, the reality of it, like, when we die, or whatever happens to us, like, if they've been doing this to you for a long time, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna want to see how much your sibling, how much your kid, your seed can take. That'd be fun to them. Like, that's how they think. That's fun to them. Like, okay, we got him that flipped in this much time. Let's see how much time it'd take to get his fucking kid to flip. Probably making bets on us and everything. Bets on our kids. I literally think they'd be making bets on, like, my recycling and shit. Like, for how hard they go, like, it has to be some, like, they have to get some type of it has to, excuse me, that's legitimate. It has to be some type of fucking they have to have some type of motive to do that type of shit. Like, I can see, well, I can't see, but them doing shit like fucking following us around and shit, I see that. But them, digging in, fucking with garbage cans and, shit like that, even, especially rich motherfuckers, especially these motherfuckers in Beamers and shit. Like, you would think that these motherfuckers, like, are not gonna go around no type of fucking garbage cans and none of that shit, especially with the COVID and all that fucking bullshit. You would think that these rich people are fucking on edge and shit, but you can see motherfuckers hopping out of Beamers and shit, fucking going to the fucking and I know they do it to piss me off and shit, but I don't pay that shit no mind. They fucking hopping out of Beamers and shit, going to fucking dumpsters and shit, just to fucking, like, they don't even get nothing out of it, though. They want to stand there and fucking look at it and shit, and, act like they're doing something, and try and make you, bluff you. If they bluff you, they beat you and shit. Like, saying all that to say, I think they can I think they be making bets. They be making bets and shit. Cause they be, the way they do it, man. And then, like, when I get a certain amount of recycling shit, they get real fucking aggressive with their engines and shit. They really want to fucking try and intimidate me with their vehicles and shit. Like, that shit is fucking, like, I would be more fucking scared if, like, a midget or, some fucking, a kid or even a fucking kid would have more fucking intimidation fucking affecting the engine of a vehicle. Like, you would like, your vehicle is fucking not you. Like, you're not your fucking vehicle. Like, stop that shit, man, please. Please. And to all you bikers, you fucking motorcycle riders, like, quit looking hard and shit. Like, when you're riding past fucking targets and shit, you're not a rebel, you're a bike rat. Like, get that through your heads. Like, you're not tough. Your your intimidation fucking value is nothing. Like, none of that shit. Like your whole fucking, and they be riding tough too with their little bullet helmets and fucking, jackets with the bike insignia on them and shit, the biker insignia, fucking handlebars way up in the fucking sky and shit, fucking we're looking like, you know, back in the day they used to call them hogs and shit, like looking like real fucking rebels and shit, Hell's Angels and shit, like it's a bunch of fucking imposters out here on the streets right now riding motorcycles. They look the part. They look the part, but trust me, they are backed by the badge. They are bike rats, not rebels. So you guys, all you fucking perps out there, I know there's gonna be some perps that watch this video. For all you perps that ride the motorcycles and shit, like you're tough, trying to look at somebody like you're intimidating them and shit. And usually, most of the time, you guys are on the buddy system anyways. But, you know, even still, please, just put a smile on your face. Or just, you know, all that fucking tough guy look. It fucking, you know. That's what I want to do. I want to start making merch for these perps and just fucking. We got bike rats. We got bike rats, booty bandits, fucking CIA gangsters, gift card gangsters. Excuse me, that's legitimate. I want to make all fucking merch fucking talking shit about these motherfuckers, calling them out, fucking calling them what they are, fucking bike rats. Beware for the bike rat. He looks like a rebel, but he's just a fucking informant. Have a picture with a motorcycle and the rat driving that motherfucker. Like, I got some ideas for their ass. Excuse me, that's legitimate. Got it rigged. It don't feel right if I don't show y'all that. Yeah, Soros. I don't know. What did I call him? Solitos. Yeah, George Soros. Appreciate that, Mo. Thanks. Stop putting up codes for V. Oh yeah. You know, those are perks doing that shit, man. Sending you to fucking those things. And you know, I tapped on one of them, and it even looked like it was a porn site. Well, it was a porn site, but it was like, man, that shit, like, and you know, when you tap on it, like, it's not like you go searching for that shit. You get fucking pictures. They got the fucking pictures, all the videos and shit. And, like, they be having fucking little kids all on the fucking shit. Like, you fuck around, you know, you gotta fucking get out of that shit immediately, man. Because they be in your phone, man. And you get on that site, and all they gotta do is fucking tap on that shit. Like, your phone is cloned and shit. So, they tap on that shit, and it, you know, your fucking phone responds to that shit. And, you know, you get in a lot of trouble, man, like that. Like, whenever you see that type of shit, where, you know, do not tap on that V-Rec or none of that shit when you tap on it. Like, I try to fucking block them, but they come back with a different name, and they fucking, like, if you block them, like, they'll fucking spam your shit. They'll fucking spam you to death with that bullshit. Oh man, you guys, hey, like we really need to fucking come up with something, man, to where we could fucking, we gotta start speaking up for each other, man. The ones that have fucking, gone to jail, like they haven't died, but they're in jail. Like there's literally targeted individuals in jail right now fighting cases, and they have no one. They have no one fucking. They have no one to fucking verify their fucking stories and shit. So they're always fucking made to look crazy and shit. And even the dude that killed the 14-year-old, and I don't like looking at people and fucking. I don't like looking at people and fucking making speculations. I think that's what you would call it. But the way that guy looks, it looks like he has a mental illness and shit. And that's just gonna help the jury along with their fucking bullshit, man. And even like I think about me, like if I was to do something, like say I didn't have nobody backing me in court or whatever, like I would fucking just behind my history, like you got to take into consideration, like a lot of jurors and shit, like these are people who have fucking had maybe not the best life, we'll say middle class people, so even their vocabulary is on a whole different level than someone like mine. So the way I talk and all that shit, like they're judging me already. Like they're like that's automatic. If they don't understand you, like they might not like some people, some cultures, like and you learn this throughout life. Like some cultures, like they may raise their voice and but they're not really yelling. Like you might take it as yelling and shit, like and then being disrespectful, but it's just that's their lingo. Like that's how they talk. And like just as simple as like you fucking misunderstanding that, like you're dealing with a jury that's fucking already, the cards are stacked against you and shit. The police are already lying to them. Like that's a whole different fucking monster. The police fucking word. A police officer's word against your word is a hell of a fight to get to get past. Like that's a hell of a fight in itself. But for you to fucking not only be able to have to fight their word, but be able to convince a jury that this isn't the way you are, that the police have fucking put you in this program that fucking has you feeling like, or really just the way you're explaining it, looking like fucking Tom Cruise in fucking that spy movie, whatever, Mission Impossible and shit. Like, that when we tell this story, like that's literally what goes in people's head is fucking spy movies and shit, like Enemy of the State. Like this shit could never be possible, like until you fucking break it down and show them. Like you really have to show people, and you can't really, like, for a person to explain it to somebody, like I would never try and fucking just explain it to somebody without giving them visuals. At least letting them see other targeted individuals and the shit that they're going through. Like you have to give them some type of visual, because if they don't see it, like what you sound like, what you, me, or anybody else sounds like we're saying is fucking like just like way off. Like who the fuck are you? You're not doing nothing illegal. You mean to tell me you're not doing nothing illegal and the police are fucking wasting their fucking their fucking all their means on you when there's crime going on out there. There's real fucking crime out there. And the police is wasting all their means on you who doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. They're spending all this money and paying all these community members to fucking harass you. Like, and I get it. Like, for a long time I didn't get it, but I fucking get it now. Like I'm not so much mad at the people for not believing me or anything like that. It makes me more mad that they sit there and talk shit. Like if they think you have a mental illness or you're crazy, Just let me be fucking crazy and have a mental illness. You really don't have to say nothing else. But for you to sit there and fucking, you know, do all this verbal ping pong that you don't know shit about, like, that's what gets me, like. But them not believing me, like, I totally get it, man. It's not funny, man, because it's a matrix. This is literally, that's the matrix right there. That's the fucking matrix. Is that all the fucking agents, like, literally, like, this is the matrix they fucking created. Like, no one fucking will believe you. You know, no one has a fucking brain of their own. Like, there's no more fucking Neos. There's no more Neos. Oh yeah. For anybody who's interested, the new Matrix is out. Like, they have there's movie apps you can download. Well, I download them on my phone and shit. It's called Movie Box or Movie Show Box, and it's on there. It's from what I seen, it's pretty good. I only saw like the first 15 minutes. Like, it's not slow at all. Like, I saw the first 15 minutes before I fell asleep. But like the agent, I'm gonna do a quick spoiler, but I ain't gonna say nothing else about it. Fucking what's the dude's name? Morpheus. Morpheus is there. Morpheus is in it, and this is just from the first 15 minutes. Morpheus is in it, but he's in a different body. He's in a younger body. And that's the spoiler alert. Or that's the spoiler. True. Okay, I got the mental health card trap. It's not. Oh, excuse me. That's legitimate. It's not a trap though, Awaken. The thing is, you know, they've put us in a box to make us look crazy. What we gotta do, you know, our job is to fucking study as much as we can. Like, don't fucking overrack your brain. Study what you can. Like, you know, if shit's starting to seem complicated and shit, just, you know, go on to something else. And, you know, when you do that, you're able to fucking, like, you know, put everything they do to us. Like, you can, like, literally, I watched this one video on psychological triggers, and, like, that shit had me fucking into a fucking, like, that's all I wanted. Like, I tried to find other videos just like it, but I couldn't find videos like it. I couldn't find, it was like a 30-minute video, and man, it told everything about, like, triggers and trauma-based triggers, like when a person goes through so much trauma, and you know, psychological warfare. Like, it was telling literally about I think I have it on my other channel. I think I posted it on my other channel. If they haven't took it off, I forget the name of that video though. Like, I've been trying to find it. I was gonna post it on this channel, but it literally fucking, you know, it's like a psychological warfare video for dummies. Like, literally, like, it, like, you could take that video, to anybody who fucking, you know, is a real person and not fucking a part of this bullshit. And, you know, they might not have believed you in the beginning, but you show them that video and then show them your footage of everything that's going on, like whether it's one headlight bandits or the exit and entries and the little triggers they do, and people fucking literally start to see that, like, you know. And I know that it be perp sometimes, but I've had people on the channel say, like, fucking, at first I thought you were crazy, but man, I'm starting to fucking, like, you know, I don't know if what you're saying is true. Like, I don't know, like, you might not be, you know, you might be putting too much on it, but there's definitely something going on. Like, this isn't normal. Like, I've had people do that, you know. I've literally had people, hey, I swear, like, I've literally had fucking people fucking walk by me, you know, and I take it with a grain of salt, because I know there's always some type of fucking perp, you know, lounging and paying attention to shit. So, like, even if there is a legitimate person that walks up to me and says thank you, like, the perps are watching that, so they're gonna overflood me with thank yous and do it in a way to make me fucking feel like all of them are like the same, and all of this is just a fucking, you know, it makes me disregard the real thank you. But yeah, I've had, and you know, luckily it was like on some real shit. Like, it wasn't on no fucking. I've had people walk by me and just fucking say thank you, like literally say thank you, and just not even on no fucking weird shit, like fucking you know, not even stopping to talk or none of that shit. Like, you know, it's really like they're legitimate. Like, they don't even want to be seen saying thank you. Like, they don't even want to be seen saying thank you and shit. And like that right there, like, it kind of lets me know, like, okay, this person might be real. But when a motherfucker want to stop and talk to you and shit and all that fucking bullshit, if they're not fucking legitimate, asking legitimate questions, because there's a difference. Like, there's a difference in perp questions and shit like that. You know, most perp questions are scripted. Like, why would they? You know, it's not what they ask you, it's how they ask you and shit. And these motherfuckers ain't smart enough to put their own lingo to shit, so they read straight off the script and shit. So, you know, it's like, why would these people want to target you? That type of quote. Oh yeah, they be on that type of time. Like, these motherfuckers ain't even smart enough to put their own lingo. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not even, you know, I put myself in their shoes, and I say, like, if I was a perp, man, like, the way they infiltrate and all that shit, it's just like, man, you are not even working your way up to being able to get no information from nobody. Like, nobody's gonna give you no fucking, like, the questions you're asking and shit, like, you know, a motherfucker ain't that stupid, man. Like, the script is real. The script is real. And if you pay attention to them, you listen to them, they're a walking, talking script. Dead giveaways. Just like undercover police. Like, they're a walking, talking fucking script. Like, there's no way. Like, if you get caught by an undercover, if you're out there doing something dirty, and you get caught, if there's an undercover and you sell drugs to an undercover, like, you literally, you know, and I don't wish jail on anybody, like, you know, that's not a perp, but, or, you know, some child weirdo, but, you know, if you get caught selling drugs to an undercover, like, you literally deserve to be in jail. Like, you don't need to be on the street selling drugs. There's, like, the drug profession, like, it's not even a profession. Like, you're going to jail. You don't need, if you can't tell with a fucking undercover, like, they wear the same dusty brown boots. They either look like sneakers or fucking, they're either shaped like fucking sneakers, or they're like some high-tech fucking colored boots. You know, their fucking blue jeans and their fucking their whole fucking walk, like they walk like they fucking still got their fucking gun belt, like they all fucking, that gun belt fucking shapes your hips, I think. It shapes your hips or trains your fucking hips. It trains your hips, man. So, you know, they all, you know, most undercovers, they have that same, they wear the same fucking and see, maybe, you know, your little police walk, the little gun belt walk, like maybe that would change, like if you put on a pair of sneakers or some shit. But even the sneakers that you wear, like they're the same fucking, like they'd be like Asics and shit, like fucking, but they're like they're always dusty brown for some reason. They love those fucking, they look like fucking, they're not tan like fucking Timberlands and shit. They're like a dusty fucking dirty brown. They love wearing those with blue jeans. Oh, they love wearing those with fucking blue jeans and some fucking, you know, what is it? Plaited shirt. Like, oh shit. Fuck, man. We're fucking so much, man. We're so much smarter than fucking, human being is so much smarter than these people take us for, man. And if you let them bluff you into thinking that you're stupid, if you let them bluff you into telling you everything that you see is what they see, like if you let them bluff you into telling you everything that you see is what they say, then you get bluffed out of your fucking common sense, man. You get bluffed out of it a lot, man. Literally, it's been so many false flags that you would think, like, and the crazy thing is, like, when the false flags hit, like, it's not like one false flag, like, they hit, like, one, like, it'll be, like, 3 different things, like, they might not be in the same area and shit, but it'd be, like, 3 different big things, you know, within a lengthy amount of time. Or not a lengthy amount of time, but you know, all around the same time. And you would think, like, a normal person who uses their common sense and shit, seeing that shit once, okay, seeing that shit twice, okay, but seeing that shit like all the time, like, so what? Like, literally, like, people are fucking planning to do this shit, like, fucking, okay, 3 months after he does something, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something. And they do this shit for years, just plan, like, you would think that a person with all the false flags that we've had, you know, even with the 9/11 thing, and I don't wanna, you know, I know I'm venting too much, I'm talking too much probably, but, you know, the 9/11 shit, like, literally, experts have fucking told people that they've told us all, like, that was a demolition. That wasn't no planes. It wouldn't, and the metal doesn't burn like that. You know, you have these fucking top deck fucking investigators and shit telling you this shit. And I'm only saying this because this is, like, literally, like, this is what we have to deal with as a, you know, this is literally how they have fucking literally tricked us out of our fucking common sense and shit. Like, you got these top deck people telling you it was a demolition. No way metal could burn like that. And then everybody that comes out and says anything about it, like with any value, fucking pops up dead. Mysterious car crashes and shit like that. It's over like 6 or 7 people that died. It's over like 6 or 7 people who were witnesses to that shit. You know, or some fucking, professional like that have fucking just died of mysterious. And all the fucking, even from all the subliminal shit before the shit, the 9/11 and you would think that the human race is smart enough to put that shit together. Like, they're literally putting this shit in movies. They're literally having motherfuckers at concerts and shit fucking say the shit. Like, they're saying the towers is gonna burn. Like, Prince literally said that shit before it even happened. Fucking Bush and having the children, I think it was Bush, chant that fucking shit with birds or whatever. It has something to do with the Twin Towers, like, and the people still fucking think. Look at the 2 devil trucks, the 2 white devil trucks. White, I said devil because it's the Rams with the horns. You would think though that we got fucking enough sense, but like, there are people still to this day that will want to kill you if you say our government did that. They'll fucking, oh man, they'll call you all types of conspiracy theorists. You don't know what you're talking about. You need to shut up. Shit, I fucking love this country. You don't like this country? Get the fuck out. Oh man, they talk real fucking tough, man. But, the reality is, like, you might be tough, but you're a stupid tough motherfucker, man. I'm gonna stop talking, y'all. I'm gonna answer y'all comments and shit. Like, I'm drifting off, man. This shit it's crazy. See, you guys are literally like fucking my psychologists and shit. Like, literally, targeted individuals know more about me than my well, I won't say more. You guys know more. I tell you guys more than fucking I've ever told anybody. Like, before targeted and shit. I was anti-social. Well, not anti-social. People would like to say that, but I just didn't fuck with anybody like that. Got enough to fucking be telling them shit, talking to them like this. Oh yeah, I've seen that, Andrea. Super Soldier Talk. Let me see. Was funding her 2 homes. Yeah. She bought some too, and then she retired. She quit. She got all that money and quit, which is stupid. Which is pretty stupid, cause you come from nothing, and you get all that money. Like, that, you buy. That's the thing. Never not having nothing, and you go all out with your money and shit. Like, literally, like, why would you fucking quit a fucking, like, you literally tell the world, and you show the world, like, you don't just tell them, you're showing the world, walking through, and the fucking news people know what they're doing. The news people know they're putting you in a cross. Like, you literally think you're on there fucking getting some brownie points with the people, and the news people know, like, you're setting yourself up. You're you know, they're gonna fucking, you know, your own people are gonna be mad. Like, we're gonna make them see, like, what you're really about. Like, so you're walking through your fucking house showing them these luxurious fucking houses and shit, and then you retire, like, after you made all that money off of these people's kids' names and shit, and they get nothing. Like, you know, a year, 2 years from now, when that money's depleted, because you're, you know, you're of the mindset, I would think that you're out there buying Birkin bags and shit like that. You know, when you know, you just splurging on houses and shit like that. Like, I mean, one house. I don't know. I'm just saying though, like, coming from nothing, like, literally George Soros reached out there. You know, you had a mouthpiece. You had it. You know, you definitely had what it took to sway the people, but, you know, you gotta think about that shit, like, where are you gonna be in the next year from now? You're gonna sell one house, you know, you're gonna use that house to pay up your mortgage, or try and pay as much mortgage as you can, and then when that shit depletes, you're gonna try and sell that shit for a little bit of nothing, your last fucking house, and you're gonna be right back in the ghetto and shit. Like, you're gonna be right, like, you better off fucking real estate in that shit. Like, that would be the smart thing to do, is fucking real estate that shit. You've already you've already fucked over the people, so, you know, there's no coming back to the hood or none of that shit, like, without the dirty eye. Like, people are always gonna be talking about you and shit. Like, when you fucking, if you're gonna take a lifestyle like that up, like, you gotta be sure, like, you gotta make sure that that's the lifestyle that you're choosing and shit. Like, there should be no fucking, you know, what do they call that shit? Straddling the fence and shit. Like, there should be no straddling the fence. Like, that's why I don't see, like, how could you be an informant but you're still selling drugs and shit? Like, you're selling drugs but you're an informant. You do know, like, you're still gonna, like, you're gonna get locked up if you get caught. Like, you're not. And then you're gonna have to deal with all the people that knew you before you became a fucking rat, when you used to walk the main line and shit. Now all your homies and shit that you've been deceiving and acting like a real dude, excuse my language, a real nigga out there on the streets and shit. You've been this real motherfucker, and now people are fucking seeing you in the gray goose.